out of all, I don't know how many students are there, but then only two emails I received, and unfortunately, both the answers that I received are wrong. So today we are going to see. So let me begin by from there. So just give me 1 minute. I will copy the question. Okay. So I hope now you are able to see the question on your screen. From lecture 10. So let's solve this. Okay. So before I begin my solution, let me write down the answers received via email. Or I'll just write answers received. So one answer I received. Let me just go back to my email and check that. From Santosh Pushpanand. So he's from JNTU UCEV Vijayanagaram. So his answer is answer for question 2 is so again this is wrong. Another answer I received is from given is 978.6 at an angle of minus 3.06 degrees. So this is also wrong answer. So in the morning I received another 971.46 at an angle of minus 2.95 degrees. Almost correct. So finally somebody got the correct answer. Now one who has given this answer, so can you explain what is the procedure, how you solved it? We draw the circuit once again, or I'll just copy this. Then there is a bus bar, then there is a impedance, then there is another bus bar, and then there is a load. So the load is 1000 plus J 500 volt amperes. Okay, so I got a request from JNTU KECV. They just want 5 minutes. Yeah, so please take your time. Meanwhile, I'll just write down the question. Okay. So this is the question. 10,000, let me correct it. This is 10,000 and this is 5,000. Okay. So here, so it will be 10,000 and this will be 5,000. That was the actual problem. So I forgot a couple of zeros. Now the current is also one more equation I have based on the Ohm's law. Nothing but V minus, so this is the current. So this I equal to this I. So therefore what is I equal to? V2 delta 2 divided by J5. So this is also current. This is equation 2. So equating 1 and 2. So what we have? 10,000 plus J 5,000 divided by V2 delta 2 is equal to V1 delta 1 minus V2 delta 2 divided by J5. So V1 delta 1 already I know. Okay, so this implies that 10,000. Oh, so I have to put a conjugate here. Plus J 5,000 divided by, so I can put a conjugate here and V2, so delta 2, I can put a conjugate here, is equal to V1 delta, V1 I already know, that is 1000 angle 0 degrees minus V2 delta 2 by J5. So one last step I'll write it. So that is nothing but 1000 minus J500, sorry, 10,000 minus J5000 divided by V2 angle minus delta 2 is equal to 1000 0 degrees minus V2 delta 2 divided by J5. So this is the equation we try to solve. So we have one equation and we have two unknowns. So what are the two unknowns? V2 is unknown and delta 2 is unknown. So but actually this is a complex equation. So a complex equation can have a real part and imaginary part. So from these two, I actually get two equations. And I have two unknowns, so I am able to solve it. So is it clear? What I am trying to explain, this is the equation you want to solve it. If you solve it, then you know what is V2. But in order to find V2, there are two unknowns, only one equation, but actually this equation is a complex equation. Therefore, you have real part and imaginary part. You can separate them, then you can find the two unknowns. So this is the procedure. So any doubts up to here? To solve above equation, okay, so I got a reply from JNTU KUCV that answer is sent to mail. I'll just check the mail, but then just we need a mathematical trick. Called so the name of the trick, mathematical trick, is Gauss-Seidel method. Okay. So just before we go into the method, I'll just give the history. So if you go to Wikipedia, you can find this details. Johannn Carl Friedrich Gauss. Okay, so this is the name of a German mathematician. Another is Philip Ludwig von Seidel. So actually, sorry, the spelling mistake. So this is Seidel, Seidel. SEI. So these two German mathematicians invented GS method. And in which year they invented the Gauss-Seidel method? The year in which Gauss-Seidel method was invented is 1823 AD. So almost 200 years back, these two mathematicians, German mathematicians, invented a method. That method is useful in solving the above equation, and that method I am going to teach in today's class now for solving this equation. Okay, so any so if so, Mr. Prasanna Kumar. So what is the procedure? So you take V2 delta 2 into I equal to this 10 plus J5 into 10 power 3. So same procedure. Then I is some value we got. Similarly, again I is calculated based on the voltage difference. Then by equating this, then expanding it, separating the real part and imaginary part. So some value like that you are getting. Okay, so then cot square, cosecant square, tan square, all these things are coming into picture. I hope you are able to see it on your screen. So this is the answer submitted by this one. So this is the answer submitted by JNTU KECV. Finally, what is the answer you are getting? So this one slightly difficult procedure because there is a lot of mathematics involved in it. There's an easy way to solve this. That's what I'm going to explain. Okay. So let's go to. So I'll include this also in the class notes so that you can refer to it. Okay. So let's continue method. So a simple case. Okay. Two unknowns, two equations. So let's take something like 3x plus 4y equal to 7 and 9x minus 8y equal to 2. So like this I have an equation and I want to solve this equation. So everybody know how to solve it. Okay? But then I am using the GS method, Gauss-Seidel method. So in Gauss-Seidel method, what you do is from first equation, so this is let's say equation 1 and this is equation 2. From first equation, find out x equal to 7 minus 4y divided by 3. From the second equation, find out what is y. So y equal to. So this is what y equal to 9x minus 2 divided by 8. So I got what is x and what is y. So then you start with some initial solution. Okay. Assume initial solution. So you can assume any solution. So x0, x0, y0. This is the initial solution. Any random number you can take. Let's say 1, 2. So this 1, 2 may not be the answer. But you take this some initial solution, then what you do is this x, so if I want to see, this is equation 3, equation 4. So from equation 4, if I substitute 2, I'll get x. That x I'll substitute in equation 4 and I calculate y. From y, again I'll substitute that y here, again I'll calculate x. Like that I do iterations. Okay. So what I do now is x equal to, so this is from equation 3, x equal to 7 minus 4 into, what is the value of y here? 2 divided by 3. So can you see how much it is? Let me just quickly calculate. 7 minus 4 divided by 3. So I am getting x equal to 1. Okay, so x was anyway 1. So it is just by coincidence I am getting like this. Now from equation 4, so this is x0, so this is x1. So what is y1? So y1 is nothing but, just look at the equation 4, 9 into 1 minus 2 divided by 8. Go back and apply equation 4. So equation 3, y of 2 equal to 9 into, so in this place of x I have 1.1666 minus 2 divided by 8. So then I get the value. So what is the value I am getting? Nine into 1.666 minus 2 divided 1.624. 1.624. So I got the value of y. Now what is the next step? So again you can calculate from equation 3, x3 you can calculate. So x3 will be 7 minus 4 into 1.624 divided by 3. So which is again 7 minus 4 into 1.624 divided by 3. 0.168. Again from equation 4, y4 y3 equal to 9 into 0.168 minus 2 divided by 8. So minus 0.061. So by the way, so this how many times you have to do it? So we have done 4 iterations. Still no answer. So let's use the computer. So looks like with 4 iterations we are not getting the answer. So how do you know whether we got the answer? So you compare, I think we have done 3 iterations. So you compare the previous y value with the new y value. If a large difference is there, that means we did not get the answer. So let's try it once again. So I hope you got the procedure. Let me just implement that procedure in the this code. So let me share my, on the left side I am writing my program, on the right side I am getting this. So what is x value? If you refer to your notes, x is nothing but 7 minus 4y divided by 3. So 7 minus 4 into y divided by 3. And what is y? y is nothing but 9x minus 2 divided by 8. So 9 into x minus 2 divided by 8. So I just keep solving these two. So you are getting what I am trying to do. So I'll initialize x equal to 0, y equal to 0. So let's try with that. Or I think let's start with 1 and 2. Whatever we did before. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 iterations I am doing. So if I execute this code, then that x will be used to find the value of y, then that y will be used to find the value of x, and that x will be, so this is just nothing but the Gauss serial method. So if I simply run this file, so on the right side, you are able to find some answer. So I think the answer is not coming correctly. Let me just go back and start with zeros. Let's try now. I think there is some problem with our example. Okay, so I think I'll get back to it. I think I have chosen the wrong method to explain the Gauss serial method. So the solution is not converging. So right now I don't know why it is not converging. So let's discuss this in next lecture. Meanwhile, let's do one more problem, one other example. So I think this example at least may work. So again, I don't know, there is some problem, it should work, but somewhere we are making some mistake. Example 2. So in the example 2, what I want to do is, let's take another example. So it is something like this. Imagine that there is a sine wave. So the sine wave is something like this. So this is y equal to sine of x. So this one will be 2 pi and this one will be pi. And this is my y-axis. Now, pi value, you all might be knowing it is 3.141, something like this. Now, I take another line like this. Okay, so, I take another equation. Y equal to mx. Okay, or y equal to 0.1 into x. So because it is going from the origin, this line equation is y equal to mx. So this intersection point I want to find out. What is this intersection point? Okay. So this intersection point will be the solution for the equation. So let me write down the equation. So equation 1 is y equal to sine of x, and equation 2 is y equal to 0.1 into x. So these two if I equate, then we get sin x equal to 0.1 into x. So we have one unknown, one equation. So how do you solve? Solve for x. So intuitively I know, if you look at the plot, so this pi means 3.14, this point. So this point will be slightly less than 3. Okay, so slightly less than 3 is this point. So this is what I want to solve. This is my unknown value x. So did you understand this question? Okay, so I got again another input from JNTU KCU that diagonal elements must be greater than the other elements in a row. So maybe that's the reason why the Gauss-Seidel method did not work. We'll go back to it then. So meanwhile, look at this equation. So sin x equal to 0.1x. So how do you solve it? So simple, you write like this: x equal to sin x divided by 0.1, or x equal to 10 into sin x. So this one you can solve it iteratively. So what you do is Gauss-Seidel method. Let x naught equal to 1. Then x1 equal to 10 into sine of 1. So whatever you are getting, then x2 equal to 10 into sine of x1. Then x3 equal to 10 into sine of x2. So on like that you continue. Then finally you will get that the difference between xn, so let me say when xn and xn plus 1 are almost equal, we stop. So let's try this. Okay, so I hope you got the procedure to solve. So I have just rewritten this equation like this: x equal to 10 sin x, and then I keep on solving it. So let's go back to my program. Get a new file. Here I'll say x equal to 1, then I'll say x equal to 10 into sine of x. Then I keep copying this formula like this. So this is my program. So in the first line I'll say clear all CLC, and here I'll say so now if I solve this, so the value of x is used and the calculation is done, stored in the x. Again the same value is used, one more calculation again stored in the x, and so on. So now if I execute this, so on the right side you are able to see the solution again. Again I don't know, again we are getting a wrong answer today. Oh, I got what is the problem because of sin x. Let's try with 3. So again we are facing a problem. So I think this time the problem is because of this. So the problem might be because of this reason. So because sine value is like this and our line is like this, so there are multiple solutions here, here and here. So because of that, again the answer might be jumping. So also on the other side, also there are signs. So this line also intersecting on the other side of the negative axis. So again there is a problem. So because there are multiple solutions for the problem, we are getting it. So let me just quickly try another trick. So x equal to sine x. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get back to that page. So when I was drawing this, I did not intersecting at multiple points. So there are multiple solutions. So you are not able to get that. In fact, 0 is also one solution. So let's try one more thing. So point 1 is sine x, then x is sine inverse of 0.1 x. So let's try this problem. So x is sine, I am writing in the other way. So hopefully at least that will work. So a sine is sine inverse. So I think now it is converging. So all the time we are getting the answer as 0. Because 0 is also one answer. So now I am getting complex answer. So anyway, I think again this example is not working. But at least one thing I'm sure I know is that our problem it will work. Okay, so So we are getting 0, 0 as the answer, but that is always true, we know. So let's, two examples, we tried two examples, fail class. Anyway, so since it is Gauss Seidel method, so let's come back to this again. Otherwise, what I know will work nicely is our problem itself. So let's go back and solve our problem itself. So let me just open my problem. Examples. Let's try our challenge question. I hope at least this will work. So, in fact, I know that this will work. So we are safe. So the challenge question was like this. So here I have S equal to 10,000 plus J 5,000, and this is V2 delta 2. So let's call this as V2 bar. So this is a complex number. So this is J5 and this is V1 delta 1. So this is nothing but 1000. So what was our equation? Our equation was V1 bar minus V2 bar divided by J5 is equal to the current, which is also equal to conjugate of S 5000 divided by V2 conjugate, like this. So this is all equal. So from this, what I do is, I'll just try to find like this, V1 minus, so V1 already I know the value, V1 value is 1000, angle 0 degrees, so I'll just leave it like that, minus V2 is equal to J5 into this conjugate, sorry, this conjugate is not there, overall conjugate I have already given, so this is nothing but apply conjugate to the numerator, I'll get 10,000 minus J 5,000 divided by V2 conjugate. Now I bring this V2 the other side, so V2 equal to J5 into 10,000 minus J 5,000 divided by V2 conjugate minus 1000. So this is my equation. So V2 is expressed in terms of V2. So I can just solve it iteratively and then I can get this equation. So we can solve the above equation using so how to solve the above equation? You start with V2 0 equal to 1000. So this is nothing but equal to V1. So assuming that this is 1000 and angle is 0 degrees. So like this you take a starting point. So then you keep on iterating it. Okay. So let me now use, so this is the equation I am going to implement in MATLAB. So let me go back to MATLAB to solve it iteratively. So let me go to MATLAB. And this file, I'll call it as from the equation, I'll write it 5i multiplied by 10,000 minus 5,000 I divided by conjugate of V2. So I use this conjugate function, then minus 1000. So this line I will run it multiple times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times I can run it. So is there some wrong? 1000 minus J5 into this? Just check the equation. So the first one is V1 minus V2 by J5 is I, and that I is also equal to, looks like there is some confusion with the steps. V1 minus V2 by J5 equal to I, which is also equal to 10,000 plus J5000 by V2. Here V1 value is 1000, minus V2 is same. J5 goes to the right. This is conjugate applied. So I think there's a problem. So this is minus and this is plus. So again, thanks for the update. So I'll put minus here and I'll put plus. So initially it was 975.5 minus 50i. Then it become 971.83 minus 49.83, and gradually it is fixing. So by the time I am coming to the fourth step, so the value is finalized, 971.699 minus 50. Okay. So if I want to get the absolute value and angle, so absolute value of V2 and angle of V2. So this I have to multiply by 180 and divide by pi to get the angle in radians, in degrees. So the final answer is 972.98, angle is minus 2.945. Okay, so the final answer is so here I say MATLAB code. Let me just paste the code here. And finally the solution. This is my code and this is the solution. So finally, what is the value of V2? So V2 is nothing but 972.98 at an angle of minus 2.945 degrees. So this is the final answer. Okay, so this is how Gauss-Seidel method works. So I tried two examples, but somehow I failed those two examples. So don't worry. In the next class, I will check where I made the mistake and then we'll correct it. So basically, so far what we have seen is how to use the Gauss-Seidel method to solve a problem. Okay. So let me just take one more step further and then let me explain slightly bigger problem. and then we'll continue. Any doubts up to here? At least to the challenge problem. Any doubts? So this is a challenge question, and we are able to solve it. So any doubts here? How to apply the challenge question? So let's look at one more example so that it will become more clear for you. So let's call it one more challenge problem, or just one more example. So this time what I do is I'll take one generator and then I take two transmission lines. So this is V2 delta 2. This is V2 delta 2 and this is V3 delta 3. Let me just go back. V3 delta 3, V2 delta 2, and this is V1 delta 1. And this is J5 and this is, let's say, J2. And the loads I am connecting here S3 equal to, and another load I am connecting here S2 equal to. S2 is 3500 plus J 2000 and S3 is 4000 plus J 3000. So this is volt amperes, this is volt amperes. This is ohms, this is ohms. Now the question is V1 delta 1 equal to 1000 angle 0 degrees. V2 delta 2, V3 delta 3. Power system, and in general PSA is AC network, but what is the use of DC network? And using DC network we have written formula for Y bus. Actually Y bus is AC component, so why we require DC network? Okay, so I got this question. So the answer is that this AC network is a special case of DC network. So if I keep all the values 0 in the case of, just a minute, let me clarify this doubt. This doubt is from GIST. So the question is why resistive network diagram is required in power system and in general PSA network analysis. So DC network or AC network, Ohm's law works on both. So therefore, what is Y bus? So I equal to Y into V. This is Ohm's law for DC network. So where I, Y and V are real numbers. So whereas I equal to YV, this is Ohm's law for AC network. So where I, Y and V complex numbers. So that is the only difference. So it is just to make you, it's just to practice some problems we are using DC network. So the procedure is same, just the expression is same. So now if I have this another one, that is I equal to Y into V. This is n equations. So where this is n rows one column, this is n rows n columns, and this is n rows one column. So I hope this clarifies the doubt. So we looked at DC just for understanding. And apply that in AC. So I hope this clarifies your doubt. Okay, so I got some answers submitted by a couple of colleges. So can you explain how you solve this? I got solution from Potti Sriramlu Engineering College. So answer submitted by PEC. So how you solved it? Per unit system. Let's use per unit system. Okay, so S base is 10,000 VA and V base, let's say, is 1000 volts. So here V1 delta 1 is 1000. So what is Z base? So V base square by S base. that is equal to 1000 square by 10,000, that is equal to 100 ohms. And so if I convert this diagram, convert the network into per unit. So I get this is V1 delta 1 equal to 1.0. So I have a load like this. So this is V2 delta 2 and this is V3 delta 3. 100 ohms. Okay, so here it is 2 ohms. So that means 2%. So this is J 0.02 per unit. And here what is the base impedance? Base impedance, here the impedance is J5. So J5 divided by 100, it is 5%, J 0.05 per unit. Similarly, what is S? Because I have taken 10,000 kVA, so this will be 0.35 plus J 0.2. So here and here S3 equal to 0.4 plus J3. So this is S2. So up to here, is it clear? So I got one more answer submitted, that is okay. So we got answer also for V3. Okay, so let's build the Y bus. So how do you build the Y bus? So you know this element 1 comma 2, it will be minus of this. So this will be J20. Is there any line between 1 and 3? There is no line, so this is 0. So this is J20 and this is 0. So and this element will be minus J20 because there is no direct impedance connecting one to the ground. Just ideal generator is given. Now come to second bus. Between 2 to 3 there is a line. Y23 is minus J5. So this will become J5 and this will become J5 and this will become minus J25. And finally this one you have bus 3 only one line, so this is minus J5. So my Y bus is completed. Okay. Now step 4. So write equations. So what do we get? So I get like this: I1 I2, I3 equal to Y1, let me write capital letters, Y11, Y12, Y13, Y21, Y22, Y23, Y31, Y32, Y33 multiplied by V1, V2, V3. So from this, if I take equations for bus 2 and 3. So what do we get? So if I just take the second row, so I2 is equal to Y21 V1 plus Y22 V2 plus Y23 V3. So that is I2. So what is I3? So I3 is, so let me just write it in short form. Y21 V1 plus Y22 V2 plus Y23 V3. Similarly, what is I3? That is 3 conjugate. So this is equation A and this is equation B. So from equation A, I find out what is V2. From equation B, I will find out what is V3. So V2 equal to, from equation A. So what is V2? 1 by Y22 multiplied by S2 conjugate by V2 conjugate minus Y21 V1 minus Y23 V3. So this is one equation. Similarly, what is V3 equal to? 1 by Y33. I will get S3 conjugate by V3 conjugate minus Y31 V1 minus Y32 V2. So these two equations I will solve using Gauss-Seidel method. So that is the solution approach. Okay, again some correction. This is 50. So this will become 70. Doesn't matter. So this is minus J70. So again, thanks to JTU Kakinada for giving the correction. So this is 50. So 1 by 0.02 is 50. Okay, so now go back. So these two equations I will solve using Gauss-Seidel method. So however, there is one difference. Okay, so what is the definition of I2? So I2 is defined as external current entering bus 2. Okay, so this is I2 is defined as external current entering bus 2. But if I simply write S2 conjugate by V2 conjugate, so this is like bus 2 and this is the load. So I2 direction is like this. But this formula which you have written above, so the I2 direction is not correct. So I have to put a minus sign here, just that one small change you have to do it. So why this minus sign is required? Because in our Y bus formulation, the definition of I2 is the current entering the bus. So it should be in proper way. So, but we have considered for this formula current leaving the bus, so the minus sign will be there. So, so now these two equations I will solve using Gauss-Seidel method. So last 5 minutes, let me just quickly go back to these equations. So can you just in a book or pen note down these equations, because same equations I am going to type in the MATLAB. So meanwhile I am just going to MATLAB. V2 I don't know, V3 I don't know. Y21 equal to. What else I require? Y31 equal to. And what else I require? So I'll use capital Y. Y23 equal to. And Y32 equal to. And then S2 equal to. And S3 equal to. So these are the values I require. So from this I can find out what is V2 and what is V3. So this is Gauss-Seidel method. So let me just enter the values. What is Y21? Second row, first column. So this is 20I. And what is Y31? Third row, first column. So that is 0. And what is Y23? Second row, third column, J50. So 50I. And Y32, also 50I. I also require Y22 and Y33. So Y22 is minus 70I and Y33 is minus 50I. So this is the data that I am entering. Now what is S2? 0.35 plus 0.2I. S3 is 0.4 plus, so this is 0.3I. So once I have these values, now I'll just enter the formulas for my problem. So let me enter the formula. So what is the formula for V2? Just now you have noted down, so that formula I'll just enter here. This is 1 by Y22 into minus S2 conjugate. Conjugate of minus S2 divided by conjugate of V2. Minus Y21 into V1 minus Y23 into V3. So initial values I'll take V1 equal to 1 per unit, V2, and V3 also equal to 1 per unit. These are my initial values. Now what is the equation for V3? So very simple, just already you have written it, 1 by Y33 multiplied by conjugate of minus S3 divided by conjugate of V3 minus 31 into V1 minus Y32 into V2. So now this method, these equations I have to repeat. So I'll just put a for loop for x equal to 1 to 5. Simply end it. So I hope you understood the code. So very simple program just for solving a 3-bus system. Input data I have given above, and then the initial values I have given, and then Gauss-Seidel method, just 2 equations we have written down, and the same 2 equations I have implemented here. Okay. So shall we execute this code now? So if I execute this code, so I am getting the answer like this. Alternately, V2, V3 I am getting. So finally, if you see after 5 iterations, okay, I think I need more iterations because if I compare V2 in the last and this one, it's not matching. So let's make 10 iterations. Okay, and then let's display a line. I'm just displaying the value of x. So let's run this code. So on the right side, you are able to see the solution. So iteration 2, 3, 4 like this we are getting. So you see last iteration 9 and 10, it's almost matching. In fact, iteration number I should display first. So finally after iteration 10, I am getting the values. So these are the final values of the solution. Any doubts you have? I think in the end we rushed a little bit. So let me just paste the final answer. Final answer. So by the way, let's convert this into polar form. I'll do that here. So V2, absolute value of V2 and angle of V2. Similarly, I'll print absolute value of V3 and angle of V3. So this is equal to 974 angle just give me a minute. We'll just end in 2 minutes. Just equal to 968 angle is minus 2.59 degrees. Okay. So this is the final answer. So just let's get back to our solution submitted, and then let me just quickly correct it. So based on whatever answers, so if I just correct it, so all are wrong. So this is wrong, 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 and I think even this is wrong. So I hope you got the how to use Gauss-Seidel method to solve this. So we will come back and try more solutions. We'll try more problems, practice it in the next class. Okay? So I think the next class is going to be next week. So the